Hi guys, today I'm going to prepare a very simple but very iconic Hungarian dish called Paprika. It means peppered potatoes, or something like a potato stew with red paprika. So these are the ingredients we need. About a kilo or 2.5 pounds of potatoes, about 2 or 3 bell peppers, salt, black pepper, 2 or 3 onions, tomatoes, paprika of course, some smoked sausage. However, you can the classical potato stew is made without the sausage, but with the sausage it's much better, and a large onion. Since we are going to use smoked sausage, we don't need the vegetable oil. We will fry the onions in the juice, in the lard that will come out of the smoked sausages. If you don't use sausages, then you can use just plain vegetable oil, and immediately you add the onions to the vegetable oil. Because we are not using vegetable oil, just the smoked sausages, so that's why we have to wait a bit and stir the sausage to let it give us some lard. Approximately 2, 3, 4 minutes later, we can add our onions. And we continue stirring the whole stuff for another 5, maybe 7 minutes, depending on the heat you use. Don't forget to stir it continuously, because when you are using the sausage you don't have that much lard or oil like if you would be using some lard or some vegetable oil, and you have to be careful not to let your onions burn down quickly. So you have to stir it continuously, just like that. One, 2 minutes later, still stirring. Of course, it's much easier when you don't use the sausage, just use the plain vegetable oil. So then you don't have to be that much careful, because the oil gives you enough lard, enough grease, not to burn down your onions. But in this case we're just stirring the whole thing. Okay, about 6-7 minutes later, we can turn off the heat and just take away our pot from the fireplace. We need a little bit time just to cool it down. Let it cool down just a bit, and now we can add the paprika. Because the sausage already has some paprika in there, you see the color is nice, so we just need a little bit of red paprika, something like that, maybe just a little bit more, so maybe like a tablespoon. That's it. Mix it nicely and turn on the heat. And we can continue our cooking process. Approximately a minute later, maybe less, we can add our chopped bell peppers sweet bell peppers, of course. You can use the same color, like yellow, or if you have a mix combination like yellow and red and orange, makes no difference. Just use any sweet bell peppers. And we continue for another 10 minutes on very low heat, just occasionally stirring and simmering the whole thing. Don't forget to stir it occasionally. Just like that. Well, approximately 10 minutes later, you add the tomatoes, mix it well. Now we are going to add the salt. Take into consideration, or don't forget that the sausage already salty, so if you are making it with a sausage, you need less salt. Of course, if there is no sausage in the recipe, then you just need a little bit more salt. You can use black peppers. I usually use this combination of kind of mixed peppers. I think it's tastier if you use a combination of various peppers. Okay. Mix everything, just like that. And now you can leave the whole thing for something like 20 minutes. Cover it and just leave it. But don't forget to stir it occasionally. Okay guys, about 20 minutes later, when the onions, tomatoes and bell peppers are nice and soft and done, we can add the potatoes, but unfortunately I forgot that I had quite a few potatoes, so I'm going to use a bigger pot because this one is a little bit too small, a little bit not enough. We just transfer all the stuff in the big pot. Now we add the potatoes, mix everything nicely, just like that. And from now on we need about 15-20 minutes occasionally stirring, and also maybe you will have to add a little water. You will see how much juice your potatoes have, and everything depends on the type of the potatoes you use, because some potatoes get ready like in 10 minutes, some potatoes they need maybe about 20 minutes. So this is just a rough figure, something like 15-20 minutes. And don't forget to cover it as well. So stirring occasionally, cover it, and just wait to get it ready. In the meantime, just a few comments. So this paprika shkrumpli or paprika potatoes, is a very traditional village food, but actually this was considered like food of poor people when people just had some potatoes and some onions and maybe 1 or 2 peppers and tomatoes, so they can made a stew for the whole family, and it was filling and very delicious. And even nowadays a lot of people eat this thing on a regular basis. Of course, if you add some smoked sausage, so you make it a little bit fancier. And also I have to add that I used, like, usually people use like maybe 1 or 2 bell peppers and 1 or 2 tomatoes, but I used like 3, 4 of those, and that's why it looks like a little bit kind of a lecho, like you probably remember from my previous recipe. But of course it depends, much depends on your taste, so you can use 1 or 2 peppers, or you can use 3, 4 peppers and tomatoes, or you can use even more and make it like a more filling and heartier dish. And I almost forgot, you can add this point, you can add some dry, or if you have fresh parsley. I have fresh parsley, but I don't know where it is, so I have to use the dry parsley. Or even you can add some dry or fresh celery leaves, just like that. It adds a little bit like a nice touch, you know, makes it even more delicious. In the Hungarian cuisine, Hungarian cooking, people do use a lot of dry celery or celery roots, and also they use tons of parsley. Don't forget to stir occasionally. If you use those yellowish kind of potatoes for boiling, so of course your stew will be ready much faster, maybe in 15 minutes. If you use just regular, like potatoes for frying, for chips, so it takes more time. Et voila! Our stew, potato stew, is ready. So bon appetit. If you like the recipe, so thumbs up that. And now I will try it, because there was quite a long time I had no time, you know, and all sorts of things. So now I will try to get on and give you some more and new recipes more frequently. So see you, bon appetit, and bye bye.